समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, verse 23 we start today. Om Tat Saditi Nirdesho Brahmanastrividha Smritaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajnascha Vihita Pura. Okay, it says Om Tat Sat. This has been declared to be the triple designation of Brahma. By that were created formally the Brahmans, Vedas, and sacrifices. Okay. Now see, Om Tat Sat. They say that this is the description, these three words is the description of Brahma. Now, Brahma is the ultimate reality, the supreme power that governs everything. We've just given it a name. Instead of describing it in phrases and long sentences, you give one word. You can call it anything you like. It's just X, okay. But here it is Brahmana. Now, Om Tat Saditi Nirdesho. First understand Nirdesho. See, there is a difference between Adesh and Nirdesh. Okay? Adesh is order, as we all know. We all know that Adesh is order. Nirdesh has a multiple suggestion. It is something like requesting, suggesting, informing the other person to make a proper choice. What you called informed choice. Okay, so here it is just it is an advice, but it is a requested suggestive advice. That is nirdesh. It doesn't have the sense of order. Order is adesh. Do this, don't do this. That is an order. When you say, would you like to do this because it will benefit you, it is because of this. This is nirdesh. Okay? Now, nirdesh is generally used in ritualism so that any defect in ritualism that you are doing, whatever ritual you are doing, if there is something lacking in there or there is a defect in there, so they say by this nirdesh that when you say Om Tat Sat, those defects are removed. See, every ritual has a vidhi, whether it is jap or it is upasana or it is worship, arti, this, that, koi bhi puja, path and all that, they all have vidhi. But if you say Om Tat Sat before the vidhi and say Om Tat Sat after the vidhi, फिर vidhi का दोष नहीं लगता. It is free of that. So even if you have not done it correctly, you are asking the Lord's forgiveness for it. And it is exempt. ठीक है? तो वो ये ध्यान रखना. अच्छा, इसके पहले we had done about दान. इसके पहले जो verses हैं, you must be remembering that we had done the three kinds of daan: sattvic, rajasic and tamasic daan. But daan, of course, and we had also done that daan should be done because of two major reasons when it is done: compassion and gratitude. That becomes sattvic daan. Don't say I never took anything from anybody and what did parents do? They did their duty. It's not like that. You will not be what you are today unless society helped you. You are grateful to your educational institutions. You are grateful to the society who influenced you, made things for you, made clothes for you, made your everyday things that you use for you. Somebody grew the food for you, somebody cooked the food for you, your mother, her father brought you up, you are grateful. So give gratefully to the one from whom you have received anything. Any institution, any person, anything. So that is gratitude. वो सात्विक दान है, वो सात्विक दान है, ठीक है? And then there's a rajasic one where you give, but with an expectation that it will be returned. In short, I'm just telling you in short, very, very short, I'm telling you. Okay? So that, and the tamasic dan, main features of a tamasic dan are that without seeing the time you are giving, without seeing the place you are giving to an undeserving person, giving with insult, and not wanting to give but have been tricked into giving or have been shamed into giving, that becomes a tamasic dan. The motive of a dan is very, very important. You will get the phal. Any kind of dan you do, you will get the phal. But the phal will be conditioned by your attitudes and your motives. ठीक है ना? So ये तो बहुत ज़रूरी है. And you must all आप you are not doing anybody a favor by giving दान. ये चीज़ हमेशा याद रखना. And your दान should be सात्विक. You have taken from society and you are giving back to society in whichever form you are giving back to society. सोसाइटी दान कई तरह का होता है. देखो, श्रम दान, धन का दान, वस्त्र दान, अन्न दान. There are many kinds of dan that you do. ठीक है? Many people do shram dan because they can't afford to give money. Those who have money power, it's very easy for them, just sign a check and give it. That is dhan dan. Anna dan is mahadan. Also, I think I told you, if not, I am repeating. Why is Annadan called a Mahadan? They say na Annadan is Mahadan. The reason is that only in this dan, the taker says, enough, I don't want anymore. Annadan is the only dan where the person who is taking the dan feels completely fulfilled and he says no more. There is no other dan where the person can say, that's enough, no more. He goes on taking. Annadan is the only one. Okay? So that, तो वो तो खैर छोड़ो अभी आप इसमें आइए. You must also, आप कृतज्ञता से दीजिए. And when you judge yourself according to the kind. देखो, 4 चीजों पे अपने आप को जज करना है. द क्वालिटी, वो सात्विक राजसिक की बात कर रहे हैं ना हम लोग. सो प्लीज जज योरसेल्फ ऑन आहार, यज्ञ, tap and dan. These 4 things, whether they are sattvic or not, judge yourself on them. So if you have made spiritual progress, your ahar will be sattvic, yajna will be sattvic, jap will be sattvic, and dan will be sattvic. But if they are rajasic or tamasic, then you are still in the elementary stages. If at all even it comes in your mind that I am doing this for this person, that person will be good to me. Even that person, return bhi chodo. Even some people give to please an officer. Usko kya kehte hain? We all know it is called a bribe. Right? That he will be pleased and he will sanction your bills, or he will pass an order, or he will give you a license, or whatever it is. So that dan, what does it become? It becomes rajasic. Straight away it becomes a rajasic because you are expecting a return. अच्छा, ये सब छोड़िए, अब आप इस पे आइए. तत्सदिति निर्देशो. So this is a suggestion by the Lord that you should chant Om Tat Sat. Dekho, Om Tat Sat. If you chant before anything, then that the all your sacrifices, that means yagya, jap, tap, dhan, everything becomes purified. Now you will say that no, but I always have a motive in my mind, something or the other crops up when I'm giving something. First, so the answer to that is fake it and make it. First, just fake it. Okay? Say, no, I will not think. I will not think. I will only think that it's a totally selfless act. I don't want anything. What I'm doing, whether you're giving Vidya Dan, Shram Dan, Dhan Dan, Vastra Dan, Annadan, कोई सा भी दान आप दे रहे हैं, first even artificially think that no, I don't want anything from it. Then it will become a second nature. Slowly, it becomes a second nature. आप जो चीज करते रहते हैं ना, action is habit forming. If you are regular in any action, जब तब भी आप करते हैं, or if you are cheating somebody every day, or you're telling lies every day, it will become a regular habit with you. Action results into habit, and that is why they say not even once should you do it. Okay, now अच्छा इधर क्या है, by saying Om Tat Sat, you are slowly purifying your intentions. This is to purify your intentions. Even if a wrong thought comes into your mind, it will be purified by saying Om Tat Sat. So, what is this Om Tat Sat? What is this Om Tat Sat? You are remembering the Lord. Om is the nomenclature of the Lord. Okay? Now, when you say Om, it's a phonetic sound. It has a dhvanyatmak effect. It has a phonetic effect in the atmosphere. The atmosphere also gets vibrations of calmness. You can practice it yourself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and slowly chant Om. So when you slowly chant Om, you will notice that there is a calm vibration in the atmosphere and a calm settles in your mind. That is the reason a lot of teachers, before they begin teaching you, make you chant Om for a short while, take deep breaths and chant Om so that you get tuned up to the higher. Otherwise, our mind is all over the place. That is why यहाँ पे ये बार बार कह रहे हैं कि you must do this. निर्देश दे रहे हैं. It is a निर्देश that Om Tat Sat Iti. That thus chant it. ये भगवान का नाम है. And he says that Tat is used. Tat means that. Okay. So that is pointing to the goal. That is the goal you want to reach. Brahma is the ultimate reality, the ultimate truth. Tat is the goal you want to reach. But you have to purify yourself from your own self. This is a very interesting thing. By saying Om Tat Sat, you are disentangling from your own personality shackles. Each one of us is bound. Each one of us is bound in shackles, in chains of our thoughts. The kind of personality we have developed by repeating actions, by repeating thoughts. And that is why each one of us behaves differently, talks differently, acts differently, isn't it? So we act according to our, why can't we act like other people? Why not? Because we think differently. And we are so bound by our thinking that we think that no matter what I am thinking is the right thing. Right? Now, when you are so firm in your thoughts, so unpliable in your actions and your thoughts, those are the chains on you. Those are the shackles of your personality. So you need to totally become unconditioned in your mind. So, Idea is not to do, but the idea is to undo whatever is there in you. Just undo, let go, leave. So ye hai the purity of intentions and motives that are entertained by the person who's doing the young age of Pradhan are the ones that need to be purified, and purified by Om Tat Sat. So, वही है कि even if you are tricked into, as I said, giving dan, or you are shamed into giving dan, please remember, आप दे तो देते हैं शर्म के मारे, क्योंकि सब दे रहे हैं तो हम भी दे रहे हैं, type of a thing. It becomes tamasic if you do not have the faith in doing what you are doing. Any ritual will become tamasic if you do it without faith. It's better not to do it. Either do it with the faith or not with the faith. Okay? This, when you do a ritual selflessly without any motive for fruit, then it purifies you from the shackles of the ego. As I said, it softens the ego. It softens the ego. There are no hard lines left. And that is why it is much more effective. Okay. Now, as I told you, Tat is that, Sat is the supreme reality. Tat is the goal that you're doing, and Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. That is the truth. Om Tat and Sat. So tune up your mind and tune up all your senses to that supreme before you do any act. Any act. So when you perform any action and you begin with Om Tat Sat, your mind is already gone to the Lord by these words. Okay. And so then chanted before any activity, it gets purified. And they perfect your sacrifices, they perfect any dan you're giving, they perfect any tap you're doing. So austerities, japa, and rituals or any action gets purified by saying Om Tat Sat. You know, it is every religion does that. हम लोग ओम तत्सत कहते हैं, मुस्लिम्स कलमा पढ़ते हैं ना, बिफोर एनीथिंग दे डू वो कलमा पढ़ते हैं. Christians we chant a prayer before eating, before performing anything, before baptism, before this, before that, they also pray. है ना? तो क्या है? What is the harm? It is basically all these are done to tune up to the higher, so that your action becomes selfless and purified. Okay? And your actions become sattvic. They become a sattvic kind of act and perfect. Acha. Also, it enables you to give without anything, without expectation. Giving. Dekho, test yourself on giving. How easily do you give? Does it need somebody to coax you to give? Does it need somebody to push you to give, or bully you into giving, or shame you into giving, or trick you into giving? Or do you give willingly yourself because you are convinced of the cause for which you are giving? ठीक है ना? तो उसमें आप अपने आप को टेस्ट करिए. We grow by giving. ठीक है? And giving is what? Even service. Caring for the elders, caring for the poor, looking after the poor, fulfilling somebody's need for education. There are many, many causes that are very, very pure and noble. So when you give for those causes, you are uplifted, you are purified. So your ability to give easily is a sign of growth. Those who do not give very easily, they have a stunted, it is a sign of a stunted growth. So Gurudev used to say that practice giving every day. He used to say every single day. Ab bataiye. So please don't understand that I'm asking you to give money every day. No, no. Any kind of giving. Give affection. give love, give advice, give vidya, give श्रमदान, कुछ भी आप दीजिए, अन्नदान, कुछ भी दीजिए, but something, even smallest of small, learn to give. But every single day, Gurudev used to insist on that, because he used to say, if you don't give, any single day passes without your giving something to society, that day you are a weight on this world. You are a weight on the earth. Because everybody else is giving to you, you are giving nothing. Trees give, rivers give, air gives, water gives, everything in the world gives to you. What are you giving? आप क्या कर रहे हैं? कुछ तो करिए. So slowly you will be able to raise the bar of giving. Now come to the next verse. तस्मादो मित्युदाहृत्य यज्ञदानतपः क्रियाः प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ताः सततं ब्रह्मवादिनाम्. Therefore, with the utterance of Om are begun the acts of sacrifice, gifts, and austerity as enjoined in the scriptures. Now, here the Lord is quoting the authority of the scriptures. Please understand, Krishna is saying it, that itself is authority. But he is wanting to convince Arjun. So, what does he say to Arjun? He says that this is enjoined in the scriptures. उनमें लिखा हुआ है, देखो सततम ब्रह्मवादिनाम. तो ये है enjoined in the scriptures. Always the students of Brahman should do there. By Om you tune in immediately to him, because that is his name. देखो ऐसा है, आप किसी का भी नाम लो, the mind goes directly to that person or not? Supposing I say dog, your mind has immediately framed a picture of a dog, right? If I say camel, if I say tree, if I say book, or I name Mr. Trump, or I name Mr. Modi, doesn't your mind go on forming pictures immediately? So Om is his name. The moment you say Om and you say it slowly, so you give the mind to rest on him. You give the mind time to hook on to him. And it does. Because that is his name. You can't say Om with just like that. अच्छा, Om is considered बहुत पवित्र माना जाता है. तो generally you should not be saying Om when your mouth is dirty or you know, people तो इतना करते हैं कि without having a bath don't chant Om. And you should be totally clean, your mind should be totally clean before you chant Om. तो इसलिए लोग कहने लगते हैं अच्छा प्रणव साधना करिए. They use it, an alternative word, pranav also means Om. So they use the word pranav instead of Om. Supposing आपके हाथ साफ नहीं है, आपका मुंह साफ नहीं है, something, and you want to do कि Om की साधना करनी है, just say pranav sadhana. That is okay. But the word Om is very purified. So to chant Om, be careful, be a little careful. Everybody can chant it. But by saying Om, all the vidhis are fulfilled. You don't have to even do a single vidhi for any puja. इसीलिए विधि आप करें या ना करें, ओम से शुरू करिए. Just to be sure. है ना? हाँ. तो Om is a ticket to perfection. Om is a free pass to perfection. So here, tune into him, and your perspective is very, very important. So therefore, with the utterance of Om are begun the acts of sacrifice, gifts. Whether your sacrifice is tapu, tyag, and gifts is the donations you give, और किसी को भी आप हेल्प करते हैं, किसी भी तरह से आप हेल्प करते हैं, किसी भी प्रकार से आप हेल्प करते हैं, that is gifts. And austerity is tapa. This you enjoin on yourself. तप आप अपने ऊपर करते हैं, है ना? तो वो सारे के सारे प्योरीफाई हो जाते हैं. And this is the importance of Om, because it invokes the Lord. It is the name of the Lord. And how does it work? देखो ऐसा है, अगर आप किसी को भी बुलाते हैं, supposing there is a man whose name is Ramu, and I want to call him, and I जोर से मैं कहूँ Ramu, he will immediately respond, isn't it? So when I say Om, he responds. Yeah. He responds to you. He becomes attentive to what you're doing. He becomes attentive to receiving what you're offering. He becomes attentive to see and be a part of your pujas, to partake of what you are offering to him. So say Om always to invoke the Lord. And Sara tab Mangal ho jata hai. Mangal means auspicious. When you chant Om, every puja, every vidhi, every act becomes auspicious. ठीक है ना? Every act. मैं तो वो मच्छर भी मारती हूँ ना, तो ऐसे ओम तत्सत तो ऐसे ओम तत्सत, so that person, he will get a better birth. And मारते हैं यानी क्या? देखो तेजोमन जी has said, भगवान ने भी राक्षसों को मारा था, ठीक है ना? Anybody that comes to kill you or cause you disease or cause you hurt, you need to kill. That is why flies, mosquitoes, cockroaches, bugs, demak, आप मारते हो या नहीं मारते अपने घर में? So these are all what? They are rakshas, because they are coming to harm you, to hurt you, to destroy you and your home. So there's no harm killing them really. भगवान ने भी राक्षस मारे हैं. So then the thing is, but just say Om Tat Sat, or just say Om when you do it. So that becomes a selfless act of just, it becomes not a violence to others, it becomes a protection to yourself. Okay? तो मंगल होता है और पूर्णता होती है. That means it perfects the act and makes it auspicious. 2 words, remember. It perfects the act and it makes the act auspicious by chanting Om. Come to the next verse. तदित्यनभिसन्धाय फलं यज्ञतपः क्रियाः दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः क्रियन्ते मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः. Uttering tat without aiming at the fruits are the acts of sacrifice and austerity and the various acts of gift performed by the seekers of liberation. tat वो है जो परोक्ष है. परोक्ष मतलब दूर है. That is far. Then you say tat. In Sanskrit, it's a Sanskrit word. So tat means that which is far. Paroksha है. So you are addressing that tat by saying tat. So uttering tat without aiming at the fruits. So you are not, see, when you are not aiming at the fruit, any action generates tendencies. Understand that. Any action generates tendencies. So if you constantly do an act desiring the fruit of that act or desiring any return from that act becomes a memory in your mind. That act will create a line in your mind that this is how actions are done. If you do a selfless act, that also will create memory in your mind. And those memories become so hardened that you act and react according to your mental tendencies. It's very, very important. And that's the reason that, see, likes and dislikes are formed with abhyas. आप कोई चीज का बार बार अभ्यास करते हैं ना, तो उससे क्या होता है? उससे tendencies are formed in your mind, and you will continue doing that thing or continue thinking about that thing all the time because you have been doing it. So see, the thing is that these are habit forming. Actions are habit forming. So please choose your actions very, very wisely. Choose your thoughts very, very wisely. Don't just, I felt like doing it, so I did it. That is an animal behavior. वो टी शर्ट पहनते हैं आजकल बच्चे, जस्ट डू इट. जस्ट डू इट क्या होता है? दैट मीन्स यू हैव नो ब्रेन्स, यू हैव नो माइंड. Think before you do it. In fact, there is a saying which is even a little subtler than this, which says, think before you think. Not just think before you act. Think before you think. So guard your thoughts also. हाँ, उसके पहले भी सोचना. क्योंकि देखो, क्रिया से भाव क्रियान्वित हो जाता है. क्रिया से भाव क्रियान्वित होता है. That means action causes a thought pattern. It generates a thought pattern. Okay? तो वो ध्यान रखना. देखो एग्जाम्पल आपको देते हैं कुंभकर्ण का. कुंभकर्ण, you remember in Ramcharitmanas, Ramayana, Kumbhakarna. The Kumbhakarna used to eat and sleep. We all know that, and he used to continuously do that. वो जगता था, फिर खाता था, पीता था, फिर सो जाता था. Okay, so then that was habit forming, and he couldn't get out of that. So when Ravan came to him that you go and fight with Ram ji, so first he got up and he tried to advise Ravan. And he said, no, you have done a wrong thing. Don't do this. You give back Sita ji and everybody will be saved and everything. But Ravan ne kya kara phir? Ravan asked for pots and pots of alcohol and buffaloes, which Kumbhakarna used to eat buffaloes. So a whole lot of buffaloes and big, huge pots of alcohol. So when he called for these, तब क्या हुआ? When he called for these, Kumbhakarna immediately went for that. He immediately started drinking and consuming buffaloes. And his mind became, he said, okay, now I'll go. And he went with great eagerness to kill Ramji after that. See how his mind changed? Because of his thought patterns, the mind changed. And he did not even wait to open the gate or door. He jumped over walls to go and fight with Ramji. देखो, ठीक है ना? हाँ, तो ये जो है many acts, different kinds of acts of sacrifice, austerity, and various acts of gift. Various acts of gift means तरह तरह का दान. वो क्रियंते मोक्ष कांक्ष भी. आप ये सब करते हैं किस लिए? मोक्ष के लिए. अच्छा भाई, मोक्ष के लिए करते हैं. किससे मोक्ष? Liberation from whom? A modern, you tell this to youngsters today, they say, but we are not tied. We don't want any liberation. Liberation from what? When you use the word liberation, it means that you are shackled already. You are tied already. And that is why you want to free yourself from that. So they say that, okay, but we are not even tied. We are not shackled at all. Shackling is your own personality. You have to unshackle yourself from the limitations of your personality. The thought patterns are like chains on you. They do not allow you to rise in nobility. They are the ones that hold you back. They are the ones that chain you into doing acts of selfishness. So to rise higher in life, to elevate yourself, your thinking and your actions, that is called liberation from your own ignoble thought patterns. It is not chains on your hands and feet. But if you have mental chains, those are chains. Total liberation from your personality, your erstwhile personality. That is why students of Vedanta, when taught by some good teacher, they always say, you would have noticed, they always say that our life has changed. They say that we have changed so much. So what has changed? Their thinking has changed. And when their thinking changes, they feel liberated from their own past thoughts. They feel liberated from their own past actions and reactions. Liberated from their own likes and dislikes, which compelled them to do certain things. Now they are not compelled because they are free. And they think correctly, they act correctly. ठीक है ना? So Gurudev has used a very nice word which I want to use. He says that the personality gets released from its own cocoon of limitations. Cocoon to jante ho na? An insect forms a kind of cocoon on itself to protect itself from the outer world. But then, can it move anywhere? Can it go anywhere? It just lies in that cocoon in one place because it is limited, it is imprisoned, it is shackled in that. That is what selfishness does to us. हम अपने से बाहर निकलते ही नहीं. Everything is for me and mine, and that is the cocoon that you are in. And by the way, who are you? You give so much importance to yourself, undue, exaggerated importance to yourself. What are you? Think about it. Think about it in universal patterns. What is your world? What is your solar system? It's just a dot in the entire firmament. And in that whole thing, where is your world? Where is your India? Where is your city? Where is your colony? Where is your house in that colony? And where are you in that whole house? And for how long are you there? A speck of dust, just blown away like that. But that me and mine is so strong in us. The me and mine is so strong in us that it is like a cocoon that shackles you. My house, my clothes, my jewelry, my money, my children, my family, you are not able to break out of that. Whereas if you break out from that, slowly break out, get out of your family, work for an institution selflessly. That is your family. Now, see, Gurudev created a Chinmaya family. It's a worldwide family. Go where you like, and Chinmaya Mission members will behave with you like a family. The moment you hear, oh, Chinmaya Mission, oh, I'm also Chinmaya Mission, bas ho gaya. That person loves you and you love him like a family. So you get out of your 3/4 people in the family, get out of that. Become the family in an institution first, then get out of the institution. Go to the community. The whole community is your family. After community, the whole town. Do something good for the whole town, which will benefit the whole town. Then the country, and then the world. हम लोग तो कहते हैं ना वसुधैव कुटुंबकम. This is a very famous statement of even Mr. Modi keeps on quoting that, because that is in our scriptures, that the entire world is your family. One world, one family. See how much your ego has expanded. देखो गुरुदेव एग्जाम्पल देते थे. He used to say that take one teaspoon of water and put 1 teaspoon of salt in that water. How saline does it become? So and then take 1 full jug full of water and put 1 teaspoon of salt in that water. It is still saline, right? But how much? Compared to that 1 teaspoon of water and 1 teaspoon of salt, here you have a full jug of water with 1 teaspoon of salt. Isn't there a difference? Now then take a huge full bucket of water and put 1 teaspoon of salt. The ego is still there. By this example, he's only showing us the ego is still there, but it becomes so mild. It becomes so mild that it loses meaning. You don't even feel it. Because to be totally without ego is the state of a realized master. And that you and I are not. So we have to practice it slowly, slowly to get out of the shackles of a cocoon. That's why I like this word very much that Gurudev has used. That we, and he says we form our own cocoon. Just like the insect, wo banata kaun hai? Insect himself spins the cocoon. Even a silkworm, wo khud hi banata hai. And then what happens? Gurudev used to say they pick that silkworm up, put him into boiling water because they don't want him, they want his house. What happens to us, my dear? When people are too old, the youngsters are already elbowing them out. This is mine, that is mine, this space is mine, that space is mine. The moment a child is born, you want a bedroom for that child, है ना? उसको अपना स्पेस चाहिए आपके घर में. Slowly, your space is shrinking, their space is growing. Yeah. So then for how long is that me and mine there? Cocoon. The story of the cocoon. Remember. So this stanza is giving you a tip. And what is the tip? The right mental attitude that you must develop for every action. Very careful, huh? Remember this tip. The right mental attitude that has to be developed for every action. Begin by saying Om Tat Sat in your mind, if you like, before you begin an action. Any action, austerity, jap, tap, yagna, havan, or every daily actions. Say Om Tat Sat. That will tune you to the Lord immediately. That nothing in this world is made by you. Nothing in this world is yours. Nothing in the world is what you can take. Nothing you brought. So what is me and mine? What is me and mine? Including your children. You say they came out of my body. Yeah, but did you make them? Did you create them? No. Not a hair of his head can you make. Bana ke dikhao. Your body has been used by him to make them. So nothing absolutely is yours. And spouse least of all. Haan ji. Spouse came after 20 years. Were you born with the spouse? The spouse didn't come out of your body? No. Then? And mine. Yeah. Think about it. So, ye hai. So these are, this utterance of Tat, Om, Tat, Sat is done by people who are seekers of freedom, who want to be free from their own personality. Then they must chant Om, Tat, Sat, because that will immediately tune you to the higher and you will do the act totally selflessly and nobly. Remember that, huh? So we stop here and we'll take up the rest next time. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेव वशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम्। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्।